with big rainfall amounts.
The Weather Bureau is forecasting the falls to continue on Cup Day. While it won't match the 1976 deluge as one of the wettest races on record, or even the 1993 soaking, warnings are in place for fashions at Flemington.
The rain from today probably has softened it up enough that stilettos might well sink into the turf out there.
The SES says today's rains have several catchments near capacity.
Threatening to be a soggy start to Melbourne Cup Day. Sophie Jacobson joins us live now from Flemington. Sophie, is the rain going to clear in time for racegoers tomorrow?
Yeah, good evening, Jen. It's extremely wet here at Flemington right now after all that rain we saw today. But the good news is it's looking like it'll rain a little less tomorrow, just a couple of patchy showers. For any racegoers coming here, they should expect it to be cold and windy and a little bit wet, though perhaps the best accessory will be those umbrellas and gum boots. But the advice is to dress warm and to find shelter. But for the horses and the jockeys that will be competing tomorrow, the good news is Flemington is well renowned for having an excellent drainage system on their track, which will hopefully make for a smooth but exciting Melbourne Cup.
On the eve of the Melbourne Cup, a storm hovered over Flemington. While Saturday's Derby Day was picture perfect, tomorrow will be very different. But those who know the track best aren't worried.
We've seen rain before, but it's just the best surface to race on. Horses love it.
There's one woman who knows the course like the back of her hand.
Oh, it's just a magical sport, and I suppose I've been born and bred in the stable.
Gay Waterhouse wants the race that stops the nation to also stop Melbourne CBD, pushing for the Cup Eve parade to return to the streets. Tens of thousands of fans once celebrated the carnival's jockeys, horses and trainers, who say there's nothing like winning the great race.
The closer you get the smell of that victory. And yeah, when you do win it, it's very special.
Fresh off her Caulfield Cup victory, Jamie Mellum hopes to make history again, to become only the second woman to win the Melbourne Cup, 10 years after Michelle Payne did it.
I want to win a Melbourne Cup or a Caulfield Cup. You don't really ever expect it to happen, and that was just, it still hasn't sunk in yet.
In a Melbourne Cup first, she'll race against her husband, fellow jockey Ben Mellum.
He can run a nice second, but I'm winning the race, not him.
This is one of the most prized trophies in racing, the Lexus Melbourne Cup. Standing at 15 inches tall and crafted from 18-carat gold, it's worth $250,000. And shortly after 3 p.m. tomorrow, it'll be in the hands of the 2025 race winner, along with $4.5 million in cash.
All bets were on at the traditional calling of the card, and seasoned punters hope the forecast is raining money.
3 for Sam Swanell to win $1 million.
Sophie Jacobson, 10 News.
Victorian teachers
Scott Clark.
Concussions a lot. Actually, most people sustain a concussion in a fall or a motor vehicle accident.
Around 200,000 Australians require medical attention for concussions each year, costing our healthcare system around $100,000, young adults and children accounting for majority of patients.
The concussion guidelines are now available across the country. Brittany Lane, 10 News.
And now here's Stephen with Monday Sport.
Thank you, Jen. Travis Head pulls out of Australia's T20 team to focus on the Ashes, while Marnus Labuschagne belts another ton for Queensland. But let's be honest, right now, it is all about the Melbourne Cup. Today, all the heavy hitters were in one room. Will the Cup stay in Australia, or is it headed overseas again? the late mail next. Plus, is this the new superpower in women's cricket? India wins the World Cup. And little by name, big by nature, a new record for the longest. Good evening. Connections of Caulfield Cup winner Half Yours are confident he will carry the hopes of Australia and land a rare Cups double tomorrow. The Aussie-bred gelding is as fit as a fiddle and loves the wet. And on his back will be a star female jockey, also chasing her slice of history.
The Cup is almost ready to be run and the rains have come. Music to the ears of Calvin McAvoy.
The old rain dance work. Did you and the old man do the Macarena or something?
Yeah, we stood outside for about a few hours and thankfully it's here.
Half Yours will be right in the market tomorrow and the locally bred 5-year-old will carry the hopes of the country.
You're carrying the Aussie flag tomorrow. Is there a bit of pride in that for you?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I mean, they're hard to beat, the internationals, and I look through the field and our horse is the only horse with the Australian suffix and that does give us great pride.
10 years after Michelle Payne changed history, saluting on Prince of Penzance, Jamie Mellon will pilot Half Yours tomorrow, hoping to add a Melbourne Cup to her Caulfield victory. It's a feat never achieved by a female jockey.
You can't put that feeling into words. That's the feeling I got winning the Caulfield Cup. It was just, all I wanted to do was just get off and hug the horse and have a bit of a cry.
Chris Waller will saddle up 5 chances tomorrow. Buckaroo is the classiest, but running the 2 miles is a query.
It's an owner's dream. Class wins the Melbourne Cup. He's got class.
The master training Kiwi says don't discount his lightweight chances. River of Stars and Valiant King.
Buckaroo's got 57 kilos. These horses are closer to 51 kilos. Over 3,200 metres on the famous Flemington track. It counts.
After saluting on a long shot last year, Robbie Dolan has been pinching himself for 12 months. He'll carry more pressure on Royal Supremacy tomorrow, but the one-time singing Irish backpacker says pressure in a Melbourne Cup is a privilege.
This sort of pressure is the pressure you work for your whole career. The pressure you don't want is the pressure of not being able to pay the bills and stuff like that. And you know, I'm just, again, I'm so blessed to be in the situation I'm in.
Nick Butler, 10 News.
Travis Head will miss the last 2 matches.
But for this, I think there were probably a few fantasy managers that were not so happy when I got sold off.
Finally, the luck turned for West Ham as it came from a goal down to beat Newcastle 3-1. The first win since Nuno Espirito Santo was made manager back in September. Every now and then, soccer dishes up a goal so pure and pretty, you just have to sit back and enjoy it.
Shalanolu goes low this time, and this is Zielinski! A goal from the heavens.
Inter Milan linking up for an absolute perler of a set piece. The pass, piercing perfection, the strike, something even the pros usually only dream of. You've made our day, boys, so let us make yours. You can have our play of the day. See you Cup Day tomorrow, Jen. Number 21, River of Stars.
That's your tip for the Cup?
Yes.
OK.
It's no chance now.
Let's talk tomorrow night. Thank you, Stephen. Now here's Steph with the weather.
It was a very wet start to the work week with rain continuing again tomorrow. I'll have your Melbourne Cup Day forecast just after the break. More than 30 mils of rain. Top temp in Ballarat. There were warmer maximums in the east, 22 for Mallacoota and Wodonga. Looking around the nation now, it seems Melbourne was the coldest city to be in because Darwin reached 36 today. In Sydney it was 25, 27 was the top in Canberra. Hobart's high temp was 18 degrees and in Adelaide 15. If we take a look now to the satellite image, it's a good explainer of why we have so much wet weather. This large curved cloud stretching from the top end all the way around to Victoria and Hobart is a large rain band carrying storms and heavy falls with it. On the synoptic chart, you can see the rain is being driven by a cold front. The reason the rain was so strong today is because the band is connected all the way to the tropics, sending humid air down to the south. As the band moves away into the Tasman tomorrow, rain will continue, but totals will start to reduce. In Brisbane, it'll be rainy and 29 degrees. 25 is the high for Sydney, once again with patchy showers. Canberra will reach 13, Hobart 17 and 30 degrees is the top in Perth. Back home now, falls will be hanging around, but it will be much lighter tomorrow. Ballarat will reach 12. 15 degrees is the top temp in Horsham, and it's back to sub-zero in the high country, warming to just 2 degrees up at Mount Hotham. Closer to the city now, there will be on and off showers. Low temps start at mostly 7 or 8 degrees, warming to no higher than 17. On local waters tomorrow, we'll have southwesterly winds tending westerly up to 30 knots by the afternoon. Now for your Melbourne Cup Day forecast in the city, we are in for a chilly low of 9 degrees with a top of 16 degrees, and there is a high chance of rain. Looking ahead now to later in the week, there's a chance of light rain on Wednesday and 18 degrees. Conditions will warm up on Thursday with 24 degrees. On Friday, the drizzle is back with a high of 25, and the wet weather and cool conditions return in time for the weekend. Jen, our gardens are going to get a good soaking this week.
It's good to hear. Thank you, Steph. And here are tonight's headlines. A spring deluge prompts the Weather Bureau to urge Cup Day racegoers to pack the gum boots tomorrow. Victorian teachers promised a pay rise, but the state government has been light on the specific details. The head of Optus faces calls again to step down after being grilled in Canberra over the deadly 000 outage. And that's 10 News Melbourne for this Monday, the 3rd of November. And now it's time for